Hello, my fellow chatterers and book game lovers. And anyone else who's popped in because you're curious or you've got a bit lost. Welcome anyway. I am Chatty and this is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, where I'll be chatting away madly about books, specifically ones I'm going to be putting on my January TBR. It is that time. I am so excited to be doing this video again and the stakes are back. We're going in, new year. I'm feeling invigorated. Let's do this. So I was thinking about kind of changing up the rules and things, but I think what I'm going to do is my plan. This is the temporary board. I'm going to try and get the real board, the full board, the completed professional looking board done for March, because March is my booktube birthday. So I'm going to throw in slight tweaks to the game and how I do my TBR book game with a brand new board for March. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, maybe it's just another thing I can fail, but we'll give it a go. Anyway, if you have not seen one of these videos before, this is the book game that I play. It's based on Snakes and Ladders, but because it's bookish, it's Bookladders, think Bell's Library, and Bookworms. So I have my little temporary board here and I'm going to go through and explain the rules. If you've seen this many times, feel free to skip ahead. I will put timestamps in so you can just get on with the game and not worry about the explanations. But before we go, I will first explain what the colours mean so that people who want to know what that is can see that before they disappear. So, the colour squares in here align to different prompts and things, and I change them on a monthly basis. So it's kind of like prompt themes that I kind of mix up a little bit. So this month we have blue. If I land on a blue square, we'll be looking at my seasonal, sorry, moving the finger back. We will be looking at my seasonal shelf. So every 3 months I have a shelf next to my bed and I change it with kind of series I'm wanting to read, books I kind of want to highlight, possibly some that are kind of like seasonal vibes. And the last game that I did in December, I chose 6 books that I was going to put on that shelf as a kind of just a fun thing to do. So they're on the shelf. I've also added some other ones as well. So I will pick a book from that shelf should that one come up. Yellow is the 30-second prompt. So I have prompt cards, which are these ones, and I have 30 seconds to choose a book following that prompt. I don't know what happens if I don't do that. Maybe I have to pick another book. We'll come back to that and I'll decide what I have to do. See, you would have thought I'd have worked out the rules of the game first. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay, so I have to pick another book. Okay, that suddenly got really scary. But I haven't failed it yet. I have always managed to pick a book. I just freak myself out a bit when I do it. Pink. If I land on a pink, I do the age genre cards, but this time we're going to spin for them. So it's a little bit like roll away, but with age and genre cards and a spinner. So I'm going to pick 6 of the different book genres you can read, like romance or fantasy or thriller. And I'm also going to pick, or I could also pick out some age ranges like middle grade or YA or adult. And I have my little spinner here, so we're going to spin and see which one it lands on, just to add an extra layer of tension. And then the final one we have, what have I not spoken about? Green. Green is theme cards. So these cards here I have a different theme on, like find a book with water on the cover, or find a book that is with buildings on the cover, or with like magic on the cover. So that kind of idea. So that is those. So feel free everyone else to skip ahead while I explain the rules of the game to all the newbies out there. Hi new chatterers, hope you stick around. I'm just gonna have some tea first. Nice and warm, marvellous. Oh, I haven't done my gimmick. I knew there was something I'd missed. So here's my little tiny teacup because I don't edit my videos. I just keep the camera rolling and do it all in one shot. So one shot, no edit. Just for extra chaos and crazy, which we usually have. Like last time the camera cut out, so I had 2 parts because why not? Right, okay, let's go on with this. So this is my board. As you can see, I have worms that look very strongly like snakes, but they are worms. They are worms, and ladders. The B, which is my counter, starts in the middle, and I can choose any of these colours to come out on, depending what I roll with my dice. So just one dice for the first one. And I can also choose which way I go. So basically I get more of a choice with that first roll of what to land on. Then after that, it's set in stone. So if I've gone anti-clockwise, I'm anti-clockwise throughout the whole game. If I land on a ladder or a worm, then I will then move on to the next square, and then I will do 2 dice for the second and third squares. So as well as the different colours giving me different prompts to land on, and they're all like quite flexible prompts, or like prompts that aren't too specific. Well, some of them are, some of them aren't. But if I land on a ladder or if I land on a worm, I get some different prompts as well. So these are my ladder cards. These are my lucky ladders. I want to land on a ladder because these are very vague. So they're very nice ones, like read a book you're really excited about, or one with a really nice cover, or one that's a 5-star prediction. So they're always really, really nice. We also have within here, we have, if I can find it, the Feagle card. Here we go, the Feagle card. So I am going to choose for myself, I have this Feagle card, and then I'm going to choose 2 other lucky ladder prompts randomly, so I'm not going to know what those ones are, and the Feagle card. So I've got a 1 in 3 choice chance, should I land on a lucky ladder, of picking up this Feagle card. And that is, it means I can steal a book. So the Feagle card is based from the Terry Pratchett books, the Tiffany Aching series, starting with the We Free Men. Nag McFeagles are little blue pixies, like very kind of fey characters, but they like fighting, drinking and stealing. So I get to steal a book from under my bed without having to earn it. I earn my books. I buy a book unless I specifically bought it to own. All the books that I acquire go under the bed, and I give myself trying to be healthy points to improve my lifestyle, like going to bed early or, you know, eating more fruit. I have to earn a certain amount of points before I get a book. So this one I could just get from winning on the game, which is why we like this card a lot. So Feagle card out, down, and then I'm going to shuffle up the lucky ladders and just pick 2 random cards. I have no idea what they're going to be. I'm just going to pick 2 of them, and I'm going to pick you and you. So there we go. We've got my lucky ladder pile. Okay. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, done. And then we have the worrying worms. So these worms are worrying ones because they are really, really specific cards. Like, I would randomly choose a number and then have to pick a book with that amount of words in the title of the book. So if I'd got a 2, I'd have to choose a title with 2 words in it, like The Hobbit. And on that line. Speaking of hobbits, I didn't intend that as a segue, but it works wonderfully. So the special card for this one is the One Ring card. So I will have this card. I'm also going to pick 2 other ones. So I've got a 1 in 3 chance, should I land on a worm, of getting the One Ring card. And someone gets to choose any book, absolutely any book, and I have to read it this month. So that is one that I will prioritise reading above trying to read the whole of my TBR. So it can be anything. Currently it's Tiffany from Towering TBR who has this power at the moment. She's had this power for a long time. I still haven't pulled this card out. This could be the month, Tiffany. We don't know. We will find out. So that's always exciting. The power is given away. Right, let's pick another worrying worm and let's see what we get. I'm going to pick you and I'm going to pick you. There we go. Okay, those cards are sorted. Bloop. So the last thing to mention, I think that's everything. Oh yeah, how many rolls do I do? I do 6 rolls. So yeah, I'll be rolling the dice 6 times, picking 6 books, and I have to read those 6 books in January. If I do, I get a reward. If I don't, I get a punishment. So, I'm going to do the time stamp for everyone else to come back because I totally forgot to talk about the punishment from October. So, October, I haven't played this punishment card yet because I didn't read all the books in October. So the punishment I pulled out was from Abby Salter's suggestion. On the Shelf Space Discord, I just put a lot of give me some rewards and punishments, and loads of people responded, which was amazing. And Abby Salter said, if you did not finish your TBR from the previous month, you cannot pick up another book for this month, so January, until it is all finished. So December, my TBR was sort of based around readathons. So the books I set for myself, and I'm going to say the reindeer readathon because that's the one that had the largest amount of books. So if I haven't read all the books I set myself for the reindeer readathon, I have to finish those before I can start any of these January books. So that's my challenge. So I may have books left over until I get to that one. I don't know because I still got a good amount of December left. I've no idea how I'm going to do. We will find out. We will see. So let's crack on. Let's do the first roll. So I'm going to flip the camera around. This is always the fun bit. Will I remember to pause before I flip? This is where the chaos happens. Okay, ready to go. First dice, roll, and we have a 3. So where can we go with a 3? 1, 2, 3. I could get a pink. I think it's all going to be colours, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. I could get a green. Or if I go the other way, I could get a lucky ladder from the get-go. Let's do that because we like a lucky ladder. Whoop, and we are going anti-clockwise. So 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Lucky ladder first up. Okay, starting off with a lucky ladder. How exciting. So here we go. I'm going to shuffle and I'm going to pick. What's it going to be? I don't know. I'm going to go for this one. I have no idea. It is not a Feagle because there's too many words on it and it's upside down. Okay. Which books in your TBR are the highest rated? Choose one. Okay. This might be one I have to come back to because I had to shut my laptop down. So I can't view Storygraph or Goodreads to see which books I have on there which are the highest rated. Woo! So I'm going to pause the video, refire up the laptop. Hopefully it will turn on and be nice to me and actually work because it's ancient. And we'll come back to this one when that's all sorted. Okay, roll number 2. We have the 2 dice. And we have, very helpful of them to stay so close to the board, 2 and a 4, which is a 6. So moving anti-clockwise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another lucky ladder, 6. Oh, how kind. No, that's anti-clockwise. Dearie me. No, that would be clockwise. That's anti-clockwise. Dearie me. Right, okay, I've got it now. The brain is marginally functioning. Again, I've realised another rule I haven't completely pegged down is, do I add another card back in so it's always a 1 in 3 chance, or do I just, odds are I wasn't going to get more than 1 lucky ladder, so just take it as a extra nice thing. I'm going to do the second one. We're going to stick with the 2. I'm just going to shuffle these 2 and then pick this one, which is, it's a Feagle. Yay! So I'm going to go and choose a book for myself. So the book I have chosen from under my bed is Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Tallia Hibbert. So I read Get a Life, Cloe Brown. I can't even remember when I read it. Was it the summer? I really can't remember when I read it now. But I loved it. Loved it. Don't really read a lot of contemporary romance, but it was fabulous. I'm so excited to read more. Another Brown sister book. I hear such good things about this one. I heard such good things about the other one. So I feel that vibe continues. So I am so excited to continue. And I feel like it is just, after the craziness of Christmas, January is quite crazy for me as well because of various different things happening. So I feel like reading a contemporary romance is going to be good. It's going to be good for me. It's going to work well, especially because it's going to balance out the other book that I'm going to be reading because I have just got my laptop up. So we're going to go over and have a look at what high rated books on my TBR are. Here we go. Here is my laptop. So I usually like to do Storygraph, which has appeared to us. Oh no, I'm here. There we go. But whilst I can sort all the books that are on my list, it doesn't give you the option of doing it by rated books, which I think is probably a really good thing, because it's encouraging you to make your own decisions, rather than just looking for top ones and dismissing them. But for the sake of this, I do need to know that, and I can't really sit down and go through it all. However, Goodreads I have not kept up to date with at all, so majority of these on here I have read. I have not read the highest rated one, which is Rhythm of War, but I am wanting to reread Oathbringer and Dawnshard before I get to that one, so I'm not going to do that one. But I have read most of the others on here. However, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, read Wondersmith. 6, 7. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which has a 4.49 rating on Goodreads. I have not yet read. That is a book I know is definitely a highly rated book by so many people. We're going to go for it. Its time has come. I have been wanting to read this for the longest time. I read On the Come Up last May by Angie Thomas and adored it. Absolutely loved it. One of my favourite books. Totally intended to then pick this one up and read it. And it just didn't happen because I think, again, it's one of those books where I want to be in the right mood to just really appreciate it. I think I'm really going to love it. It's on one of my, it's a 5-star prediction for me. And I just think it's going to be amazing. And I want to be able to immerse myself in it, fully get into it. But I'm also, though, because of the subject matter, I think I'm going to feel really angry when reading it. So I need to kind of get myself in the right headspace for all those emotions. But yeah, I've been putting this off for far too long. So I am so excited. It's officially on my TBR. It's going well. I'm very happy with this so far. Some really fantastic books. And whilst I feel this is going to have a lot of heavy stuff in it, I feel like Dani Brown is going to kind of counterbalance that with some fun times. So whoop whoop, first 2 books. However, I have got like 4 buddy reads or something like that planned, despite me going, I'm not going to get into so many buddy reads already there. And none of them are yet on my TBR. So let's see what happens next. Also, that's 2 Lucky Ladders done. It's very boring if I just keep getting the same prompt. So if I get Lucky Ladder again, I'm just going to roll the dice again and move on. I'm not doing any more Lucky Ladders. Nope. We want some more interest going on in this game. Roll 3. Bloop. We have a 2 and a 5. So we have a 7. So that is, come on, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a yellow. It is not a Lucky Ladder. I cannot remember at all what yellow was. So yellow was 30-second prompt. So I'm feeling quite anxious. I'm going to pull a prompt card now and I will have 30 seconds to go and find the book. So, okay, I'm going to wait for it to get, it's on 1855. I'm going to wait for it to hit 19. So it's going to be easier for me to see. Okay, go. An author I want more of. Okay, I can't pause. I'm going. An author I want more of. An author I want. Never read you. Oh, yes. Okay, got it. Sophie Anderson. I want more Sophie Anderson. And this is The Girl Who Speaks Bear. It's a lovely wintry read. I have a plan in mind for this. So there's another book I possibly want to get on here, but we will see, because there's a little video I want to do about certain books. And I loved reading The House with Chicken Legs. Absolutely one of my favourite books I read this year. This is Sophie Anderson's second book. And I can't wait. I can't read for more Sophie Anderson. It's a middle grade fantasy. And as you know, one of my favourite genres. I'm loving this TBR so far. It's amazing. But still nobody reads. Okay, roll 4. I stopped it with my belly. Let's do that again. I didn't even see what it was. Right. Okay, we've got a 7 again. Fine, that's fine. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a pink. So pink is the genres and age ranges spin. So I have some cards from here, and we're going to pick out the 6. Got my spinner ready, clearing space on the table. Okay, so we have a middle grade, love it. We have historical fiction. I read a historical fiction recently. Oh yes, no I did. They were also mixed with other genres. Adult, very easy again. Fantasy, no problem with that one. Classic, okay. We can work with it, but it's not on my plans at the moment, but fine. And we have romance, which I've already got a romance in my pile. So we will see. Okay, so basically, rather it didn't land on classic or romance. All of the rest are totally fine. Let's spin this thing. Nearly didn't record then. Okay, here we go. Oh, can I do this one-handed? Yes, I can. Classic. That's the one I didn't want. Damn it. Okay, I guess I should go and look for some classic options. I have 2 adult classics that are possibilities. Yeah, they're possibilities and they would work with Read What You Own. I haven't read a classic for a really long time, and both of these are on my list to read. It's just I'm aware I haven't got anybody reads in, and this is the 4th book. So let's grab them. Don't fall. Okay. So my first classic is so this is a bind up of Sanditon, Lady Susan, the Watsons. I have read all of those. I have not read the History of England and the Juvenilia, which are also included in this very tiny, cute little children's classic. So I do really want to read this, and I'm really excited to have this copy because it is so cute. I do love the little, no, it's not children's. It's not children's. That's very fancy. This is the, it does tell you somewhere. Macmillan's collection. This is the Macmillan's collection. And I do enjoy how it has like a little quote on the back. This is from is it Sanditon? I was calling it Sanditon, but I think it's there was an ITV drama, which has also got another series now, and they say it and I can't remember how you pronounce it. I'm just going with mine. Every neighbour should have a great lady. The great lady of Sanditon, now I'm trying to say both of them in one thing, Sanditon or Sanditon, what you will, was Lady Denham, who was played by the fabulous, can't remember the name, I think she's called Anne someone, but she played Jean in Dinner Ladies, and I love Dinner Ladies. And I like, we've got these lovely oak end pages and the gold falling around the edges. So I suppose I am quite excited. I'm possibly leaning towards this one. Yeah, well, I will have a look and ponder. And the other one is, this is a children's classic. This is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. This was a birthday present this year from my mum, and it is a beautiful, beautiful book. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. I really love it. We've got these lovely like peacock feathers all over it in this kind of like Art Deco fan style, and the pages just feel so beautiful. They're like really thick. They've got gold edging around it as well, and it just feels really nice. It just feels really nice. I've never read Sherlock Holmes. I've never read Sherlock Holmes, and I want to. So I think this is actually like the 3rd book in the series. I think there are 2 books before this, but this is, I don't know if the other ones are like a whole story in itself. This is like a collection of like different mini mysteries, so I suppose it's kind of quite easy to read episodically. So this is also an option for a classic. I could also look at children's classics as well. those could be options. But the ones I kind of do want to reread are Little Women. I kind of want to reread around Christmas time just because it gives me those feels. I've read my Anne series recently, so I don't really feel like reading those again. I'm going to be reading the modern classic Goodnight Mr. Tom in March with the FOMO book club. And The Secret Garden always feels like a springtime book or an autumn time book. So I don't think I'm going to pick up one of the children's classics. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go between one of these. I'm gonna have a closer look at them and decide which one I want to go for. After looking at both of them, I am going for the History of England / Juvenilia by Jane Austen, because I've not read it. It's the only part of Jane Austen that I have not read, apart from her letters, which I have started. And I can't work out what the difference is between Juvenilia and the History of England, or if they are in fact the same. So I will find out. Plus, I really love the smallness of this book and reading the small book in my hands. It just feels so cute. So going for this one for the classic. Ba-bum. Okay, roll number 5. We have one that fell on the floor. So we have a 6 and it's a 5, which gives us 11. So let's move this B. Come on, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It is a green. And green we have not done, and that is a theme card. So I am very happy to be getting some of the different prompts on here. So that's nice and exciting. And I'm just going to pick one now rather than just aimlessly shuffling, and it is Plants and Earth. Can I find a book that has got plants and earth on the cover? Let's have a look. Well, immediately what stood out to me was one of the buddy reads that I need to be getting on here, and that is Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. So myself and Vadania and also Phantom of the Pages, we all have Fairy Loot. Very lucky to have Fairy Loot. So excited by that book box. I love it. And we have a lot of books that we haven't read, so we thought it would be fun to buddy read. And on my channel I kind of gave you guys the option to kind of vote which Fairy Loot book we should read, and this is the one that won. So we are reading this one in January, and we might kind of keep it going over the other months as well to read the other books. This is so pretty. I love the colours on this, and as you can see we have this this plant, this thorny vine with violets around it, which very much fits in with the title. So there we go, we have the nature foliage on there, and also we have these very pretty sprayed edges going along here, which is really cool. There we go. Oh, it's a YA fantasy, in case you weren't sure. Time for the final roll. Boing! We have a 5 and a 1, so we have 6, and that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whee! It's a worrying worm. So we're ending on a worrying worm, which does not fill me with a lot of hope about me getting any more of my buddy reads on here. So we will see. Also, this could be Tiffany's moment. This could be the moment Tiffany gets to pick what book I read. I'm going for this one. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Just shuffle. Just shuffle and pick. Just shuffle and pick. I'm going. I have a book. Sorry, Tiffany. A book that has a certain number of words in the title. This one last time. Okay, so I need to pick a number, and I need to find a book with that many words in the title. So between 1 and 6, we'll roll the dice. Okay, let's do this. I have the dice. I could flip it, but I've done lots of flipping. I'll hold this up. Oh, that's it. I'll roll it, and whatever number you see on here, that's the one it'll be, rather than like the one facing up. Okay. What is it? 6. It's 6. 6. So of course, none of the buddy reads I have left fit in here. But I have got an option that I think will actually work quite well. And that is the middle grade by Rick Riordan, Percy, Jackson and the Titan's Curse. 6. There we go. So this is the third book in the Percy Jackson series, which I am rereading. I read these a lot as a teenager and really enjoyed them, and I treated myself to these very beautiful hardback editions because I've never been a fan of the covers on the Percy Jackson books. This one's really cool. Percy's on his Pegasus blackjack. So I am keen to continue going with this series, and it does mean I'm adding another middle grade to the pile, which makes me happy. So there is that. Okay, let's look at the pile, and then let's add on all the other books I want to read. Woo! So here's the pile that the game chose for me. If I can lift it up. There we go. So we have The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which is a YA contemporary that was a highly rated book from the Lucky Ladder. We have Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Tallia Hibbert, which was a beagle, steal a book from under my bed. Then we had The Girl Who Speaks Bear, which was a 30-second prompt to read an author I want more from. And then we had the spin, and the genre spin, it landed on classic. So we have Jane Austen's Juvenilia / History of England, which I'm now really pleased I chose because it's really short. We then have Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen, which was the theme card Plant and Nature. And then we have The Worrying Worm, which was a book with 6 words in the title, which is the middle grade fantasy Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. So there we go. Now I'll tell you all the other books I want to get on this list. Okay, so first of all, I have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is a historical fiction that looks at the generations and was inspired by the classic Passing, which I read in November, possibly September. I can't even remember when I read it now, but I read Passing. And I was really intrigued by this idea of race, where you have 2 sisters who are born looking white, but they are black. So they can pass for white. One chooses to do that and goes and lives in, doesn't tell anyone that she's black, passes as white and has all of the privilege, but isn't able to feel her true self, as far as I understand. And the other chooses to stay within the black community, and then it's kind of what happens to their relationship when they sort of meet up again, and kind of what happens with their daughters and the choices they've made. So that all sounds really interesting, and I enjoyed the kind of race aspect in Passing, but then it went kind of down more of a kind of marital kind of relations road that I didn't enjoy so much. So I am really keen to see where this one goes, and I am buddy reading this with Maria from Reads Fine Books. And I think a few other people are also interested as well. I think Tallia from Bandana Book Mum is interested, and there's a few other people on MJ's Discord where we have a thread to kind of chat about this. So really looking forward to that, really looking forward to chatting about it as well. So this is one I will be reading. Add it to the pile. And the other buddy read book that I'm definitely going to be reading as well is Rumblestar by Abby Elphinstone. I've not read any of her books before, but I have seen interviews with her, and she seems like such a lovely author and is so excited by writing middle grade fantasy for children and the adventure and the wonder that brings. So this is the first book in the Unmapped Chronicles of which I think there are 4, but one is like a prequel, and they're all kind of more companion books rather than following the same characters throughout. So this is, again, it's another series that myself and Vadania really wanted to read, and we both had the first one. I think Vadania also has all of them. I will probably be getting the rest of them out of the library, but this is the first one and we are planning on reading it in January. There is a link on my Discord, which is the Middle Grade Mad Chat, where it's a Discord that is focused on middle grade books. So if you want to read it, if you have this book and you want to read it with us in January, please come and chat with us on Discord. It'll be lots of fun. This one I'm probably not going to read because I think I'm the furthest ahead out of all the other people reading this series, and that is the final book in the Ember and the Ashes quartet. This is A Sky Beyond the Storm, and it's a biggie. How many pages is this one? I feel they got bigger. Oh, it's not massively so. 516, so sort of just over that 500 mark. But I think this will probably get pushed back because I don't really feel it's going to be possible for me to read it, and don't think anyone else is there. So there's not such a huge need for me to read it at the same time as everyone else. So it's fine. But I did want to read this. This is a YA fantasy by Sabbath Tahir. The other one is, it's not a buddy read yet, but in February I'm hoping to read The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne with Mason from Mason in the Dark. He read this one recently. It's not his usual vibe, but he enjoyed it, and I'm so happy because I really love John Gwynne and I really want to read The Hunger of the Gods and haven't read it yet, so I'm really excited to do a buddy read with Mason. So I really want to reread The Shadow of the Gods before I start that buddy read, and I have been wanting to reread this for a while and it just hasn't fitted in, but now is the time. And I also want to read it in porridge eating weather because they eat a lot of porridge in here, and I just want to eat some porridge as well. And it's very Nordic, so it's got all those kind of like cold vibes. So I want to read it in the wintry time. So I would really like to get to this if possible, but this is what the stack looks like with those added on. I mean, thank God it's a hob break month because that would be very terrifying. Here, that's a lot. One of my goals is to not read as much this month. And if you want to know why I do this to myself, it's because it's fun. I'm having fun, okay? And I am excited by these books. I'm very excited. And a lot of them I wouldn't have thought of reading this month. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, everyone. Oh, and there's another book that I might chuck on here from the library as well to do with my project. But again, we will see. We will see. That's fine. So here are the books that I may read. Woo! We'll see how January goes. We'll see how we start the year. Is it going to be TBR fail before I've even started? Because I've still got to read all those books in December 1st. Yeah. Oops. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Is the game crazy and ridiculous? Or is it fun? Do you have a TBR for January? What are you planning on reading? Have you read or heard of any of the books? Do you have any thoughts on them? Please let me know. You know I do love a chat, and I really hope you have a great January. Happy reading, everyone.